All right, fellas. So I'm currently sick. So give me some grace, but we're gonna go over this Julian Michaels video because I've been seeing a lot of stuff about it. She's going against obese people, and basically she's talking about. Well, I haven't watched the video yet, so I'm gonna be reacting to it. But the premise I got from it is she's basically using the science behind why obesity is unhealthy. Because yes, if you have excess fat, it's unhealthy. Let's see how it goes. Hopefully, this is not too cooked. All right, I might do like 30 minutes, or we'll see.
Lives at risk.
If you want to be the first debater, get to the chair in 3, 2, 1.
Hi. I'm Edie.
Nice to meet you,
I'm an
Edie.
eating disorder therapist. I'm going to do my best to not use the O word because I find it pretty offensive. So I'm going to use fat-bodied as we talk.
Okay.
Do you
Bro, fat bodied is way more fucking offensive than obesity. What? That's this, bro. What, bro? Anyways,
understand why people find it harmful and triggering?
Overweight and obese is literally just having too much body fat. It has nothing to do with the quality of the person.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Are we going to debate the claim?
Yeah,
Or
I just
are
wanted
we
to.
Gonna,
Yeah, I wanted to clarify though the
are
language.
we going to pretend like I'm a 3?
all right. I'm gonna say this right now because this girl acts like my ex used to act. But when it comes to feminism and shit and bringing emotions into facts, it's really facts over feelings. Okay, when it comes down to fitness in general, guys, the reason someone is obese is because they eat too much. It's not healthy. Obviously, like it's just facts. We're not talking about feelings. Like with this, she said she's an eating disorder therapist. Like they try to bring feelings into this shit, and it's like, bro, this shit has nothing to do with feelings. It's literally just facts. All right.
And you're my mommy, telling me how to talk.
Wow. Okay.
Okay.
So the claim that you're saying is that it is inherently unhealthy to live in a fat body.
It's inherently unhealthy to have excess body fat, yes.
Okay. Where are you getting that information from?
Oh, okay. There are dozens of MRT trials that show having excess body fat. Dozens is called.
Like I said, facts over feelings, as you see right here. It's literally facts over feelings. A lot of people get offended. Even when I say stuff like the reason you'll always be fat is because of this, people get offended and they're like, oh my God, it's like, that's not fair or that's so disrespectful. I'm just like, I'm not trying to be nice or be mean. I'm just telling you how it is, just facts.
Not correlated.
No, that's not true. There is no disease that just fat-bodied people get.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But obesity lends itself to all-cause mortality across the board. Have you heard of something called adiposopathy? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you know it means literally sick fat. And you understand how it works? Mm-hmm. Okay, tell me how it works.
So it's an additional layer of fat in the stomach area.
No, that's not what it is. It works as follows. When we eat too much food that has energy that we're not utilizing, the body needs to put that energy somewhere, right? So it puts it in fat cells. So it puts it in initially subcutaneous fat cells, a little bit of visceral fat, which is fat around the organs.
And listen, this is why you guys don't believe me. When I talk about being lean and body game, it is for health. It is for health because the more excess fat you have, the more visceral fat you have, the higher risk you're going to have for type 2 diabetes, sleep apnea, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, because excess fat is just not healthy. Because when you have excess fat, obviously you have insulin resistance as well, but it's just going to make you produce more and more and more fat, right? So I know that people struggle to lose fat and they gain fat and they feel bad about it, but this is just all facts. All right, we need to get to the facts, to the bottom of it, and stop being emotional with this stuff.
And at first you have hyperplasia, which means we're recruiting new little fat cells, which isn't necessarily a bad thing up to a point. Now, the issue is that once you can no longer recruit more fat cells, right, you get hypertrophy. So the fat cells start to expand. And this is exceptionally dangerous because what ends up happening is the blood vessels get outpaced. So the fat cells can't get oxygen and they start screaming, literally. And when they do, they release cytokines, inflammatory proteins, right?
I want to pause.
Of course you do want to pause. Okay. Because it's irrefutable. You don't even know what I'm talking about. So,
Jillian, okay, first of all, I don't appreciate the way that you're speaking to me right now. You called me out for just trying to understand the languaging and saying I was talking to like a 3-year-old. Talking to me very disrespectfully right now.
Here's the thing.
And I want to.
You're telling me you understand it, but you don't understand it. You fundamentally didn't describe.
This is that corporate mumbo jumbo bullshit, BS, politically correct stuff that I really, really hate. Like, not her, not Jillian, but this lady talking about I don't appreciate how you're talking to me, like that fake talk bullshit. It's just like, at the end of the day, she's trying to argue why you shouldn't, why it's not bad to be obese, but she doesn't even know how obesity works. That's the irony of it, which is insane, right? Because if you knew how harmful obesity, excess fat is, then she would not, she would have a different view on it. And Jillian Michaels is trying to obviously explain it to her, but she's not listening.
It accurately.
But what I understand is that
What's lipotoxicity?
I don't want to talk about, I am not, okay, here, I'm going to say this straight out. I am not a medical doctor, okay? So I'm not going to talk to you about medical diagnosis because that's outside my scope and I'm fully
That's the
willing,
claim.
hey, I'm fully willing to be wrong. What I am here to talk to you about is the fact that people in fat bodies are irreparably harmed going into the medical system every single day because of the term, the O word.
So that's what you want to litigate?
Yeah.
Okay, that's not.
The O word. Listen, if I see a patient who's overweight and they have purple feet, I know that they have type 2 diabetes, high cholesterol, high blood pressure, guaranteed, right? It's pretty obvious. I wouldn't say they get labeled. It's just when you're experienced, you know that excess fat is a bad sign, which is why if you have excess fat, your blood pressure is going to be high and your cholesterol is going to be high. Like it's not that complicated. All right. Every time I've had a client who's a higher body fat percentage, I know they have insulin resistance. I know they have high A1C. That's how the body works. The body doesn't like excess fat.
Not the claim, though.
The idea that fat-bodied people are inherently unhealthy is, I believe, incorrect.
You're wrong.
No, I'm not
There's a
wrong.
robust amount of data.
I'm
You are
not
not-
wrong.
okay, so
Because
let
you
me
can't
finish
look,
the
you
thought.
can't look at.
Then let me finish the
Let me
thought.
finish my thought first,
Okay,
please.
sure.
You can't look at a person's body and tell whether or not tell their health status.
Yes, you can. That this is the bullshit that they be telling you in academia. This is exactly why I ignore academia, because these new teaching segments, and even in nursing, doctors, they tell you, hey, some people are just accidentally are obese. It has nothing to do with them, when in reality it has everything to do with their habits, because it's directly correlated to it. So for me, if I see someone with a huge abdomen, right, a dude with a bigger than 40-inch waist, a woman with a bigger than 35-inch waist, I already know their health status. I'm like, okay, I know your A1C is probably high as shit. You know what I mean? If it's not high now, it's going to be high in the future. You probably have type 2 diabetes. If you don't have it now, you'll have it in the future. It's not that complicated. All right. And that's exactly why lean people are treated differently. It's because they're healthy and more disciplined. It's not that complicated. Like, people try to overcomplicate shit. I feel like academia and school in general just tries to overcomplicate everything, and everything's really just simple in this life.
So fat is an endocrine organ. When it overgrows, it does wreak havoc in the body. I didn't finish telling you what happens. So when the oxygen can't get to those fat cells, they'll die and they'll rupture. And then the immune system starts dumping macrophages in to try to clean it up.
But do you know what's
But they
even more
can't clean
unhealthy
it up.
is weight cycling. And as we talked about earlier,
Yeah,
I have lived in a fat body for as long as I can remember.
Listen, Jillian is probably going to be nice. I'm not going to be nice. All right. I'm just skipping ahead to see what's going on, because I never watched this video, like I said.
And I've known very many fat people. And I don't think any of us, the people that I know, I can only speak to the people that I know, I don't think any of us are pretending that we're okay with it. What I want to say here is I live with autoimmune disorders, I live with chronic illness, and I'm also neurodivergent. And this is, the body positivity movement has made it so that I can tolerate this life.
But she's still severely overweight, which means she's still consuming more calories than she's burning. It's like, people always try to do that shit, the victim shit. Like, they're like, well, I have this and I have that. Well, you're still big as shit, which means you're eating a fuckload of calories. It is what it is. All right. When I'm sleeping, she's probably eating Ben and Jerry's, honestly.
I can find ways to thrive, even still. But I'm not pretending that this doesn't bother me. And by bother, I mean that it doesn't hurt to carry my weight. I'm willing to concede with you that carrying around extra weight is harder. It is. But must be done.
I don't know that I.
This shit is getting out of hand, bro. She said it's harder to carry around extra weight, but it must be done. No, bitch, just fucking eating a calorie deficit, yo. Listen. I'm gonna skip ahead. All right, I ain't trying to make this video too long. This one's cooked. Let me go to the next one. I got to go to the most replayed as well, of course. All right, let's see.
What I'm curious about is if you care about people's health and you have people in front of you, and I'm sure you have people online who are telling you that the body positivity movement, or I prefer body liberation, body justice, body acceptance, body blah, all the good shit that we like,
Okay.
actually increases their health, then I don't understand.
No, let me tell you this right now. The body positivity movement lies to people about what's healthy, which is, not harming them. I'd rather tell someone something they don't want to hear and they survive than lie to them and tell them something they want to hear and then they die, because I'm like, yeah, it's okay to be fat, and they have a heart attack, right? Like, the body positivity movement is literally telling people it's okay to be severely overweight and have all these medical issues. It has nothing to do with you. And you literally take all the accountability away from yourself, but who else can you hold accountable for that? Only you, because you're the one eating the fucking foods. You're the one eating in the surplus consistently. All right. And notice how the only people who like the body positivity movement, it's never lean motherfuckers who are healthy. It's always out of shape, lazy people. All right. And yes, they're lazy. That's how they're lazy. They just are. All right.
Understand your debate. Like, what are you debating if the fat people are telling you it makes their life better?
I'm debating their physical health, and I'm debating the people who claim that you can be physically healthy at any size.
Okay. Do you think you can be physically healthy and mentally unhealthy at the same time?
Of course, but that's not the claim.
Okay, sure. I think the part where I get stuck, I am a mental health professional. I work with people from a body liberation.
Listen, I dated a lot of mental health professionals. They're usually worse than the patients. All right. Every single time. They're always worse than the patients. Mental health professionals, if a girl's like, yeah, I'm a psychiatrist, or, I'm a mental health professional, they're mentally cooked. And the shit that they learn is just some red hair, blue hair bullshit, bro. And notice how all of these are very, feminist chicks and shit like that. Notice that, guys. Notice that, because in reality, it's simple. If you go overseas, like when I was overseas, people were like, yeah, why are Americans so fat? You guys eat so much. And I'm like, yeah, they do. And everybody overseas knows, okay, I eat too much. And then if someone wants to lose weight overseas, they're like, okay, let me eat less. It's literally that simple.
Standpoint, I work with people in all shapes of bodies. What I know to be true from my experience is that body positivity, body liberation helps people take care of themselves. It's very difficult to understand why you think somebody is going to take better care of a body they hate. Like, why body positivity would not
You're gonna hate your body if you treat it like shit. If you eat like shit and you don't move your body around, you don't eat healthy, guess what? You're treating your body like shit. You're gonna feel like shit. But if you're treating your body well and you're lean, you have some muscle, you have some muscle definition, right? You exercise, you're gonna feel better, and you're gonna have pride, and you're gonna have confidence. Confidence comes from confiding in yourself. You can't be confident in a body that you're not proud of, because a lot of times, these people in the body positivity movement, they tell themselves they're not going to eat cookies at night, and they're eating cookies at night. They're pretty massive. They're definitely eating cookies at night. It's not all this accidental hormonal shit. That's not what it is. You have to eat a fuckload amount of calories to be the size of these women. All these women weigh 3 times as much as I do. It's not even fucking close.
inspire people to take better care of their
Strawmanning
bodies?
my argument. I never said you should hate your body. In fact,
No, you
should.
didn't.
Okay, so I don't think that. What I think is that there are people in the movement
Yeah.
who have co-opted healthy at any size, and it went from access to healthcare
Okay.
to quite literally.
No, I disagree with both of them, because you need to be, if you look super unhealthy, right, and you're big as hell, you need to have shame in that, because that's literally a survival mechanism. If you have shame in you being super out of shape, that means that you're going to get into better shape and get healthier, which means you're going to live longer. All right. You shouldn't lie to people and tell them, yeah, it's okay to be, massive. And then, now they have heart attacks and now they have heart failure and shit like that because you lied to them.
Meaning for them that you can be healthy at any size, and that's not true.
Okay. I mean, the studies show that if you're very, 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 very thin, or your body is very, 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 very big, it is more difficult to be healthy. That is absolutely
But
true.
then you agree with me on this point.
I don't, because I don't think body positivity is the dangerous thing. I think I think, hatred of fat bodies, and people.
She said it's not a dangerous thing. Ever since 2020, when they started this body positivity shit, there used to be, of course, my 600-pound life, that's cool, but there used to be like medium fat people and obese people. You know what I mean? That's what I would see. Now the former obese people are medium fat, and now there's like new levels that I've been seeing ever since. You know what I mean? Because they've like made it normal. Like, oh yeah, it's okay to be big. I've like, if you go to just slide to Costco or Sam's Club, you'll see some of the biggest humans you've ever seen in your life. Like I always say, Megazords and shit. You're gonna feel like someone shrunk you or some shit like that. Like they're really, really big, and it's because people are saying it's okay. So if they go from 300 to 400, and people are saying, "Oh, your positivity, it's okay, it's okay," then they're gonna keep eating, and that's what's been going on. So yeah, this is definitely horrible.
Hating themselves and people living in self-loathing because they've been taught that their body is the wrong shape. That's the danger.
It's the body
Both
fat.
can be true at once. So let's look at this, right? So the first thing we would want to do, obviously, is incentivize somebody. So it's like, okay, what's the why that's going to allow you to tolerate the how? But hold on. That's the positive. That's the inspiration piece. Okay. Now, here's the issue. If that piece, if all the things that they get out of it don't serve them as much as the things they're getting out of being overweight, and it does provide quite a lot, I can give you an example. Then they're not going, unconsciously, they will sabotage the change. Can I give you an example so you'll understand it? Okay, there was a kid that I worked with. On Biggest Loser. He's 18 years old.
Okay.
He shows up with his dad, Ken. They both lose like 100 pounds. They go home. And they're visiting their family. It's the holidays. Doors fly open. And there's mom. And mom starts crying. And she's not crying tears of joy. She feels like they're going to abandon her, like they broke the contract, like they've outgrown her. And she becomes...
I'm telling you, bro. Y'all need to get around lean friends. I've been telling you all that shit. You guys, a lot of you guys have out of shape friends. Every time you guys are doing good, your out of shape friends are like, "Nah, man, just come out with me, eat some pizza, eat some of this, eat some of that, eat some wings," and they make you gain the weight back so you can be more like them because misery loves company, and people don't want to see you outgrow them, which sounds bad, but that's the reality.
Sad, and she withdraws. So what does the 18-year-old do? He starts eating with mom again. What does the food provide him? A connection with his mom. I had something similar with my dad. It was one of the ways that we connected. Food provides a lot of people with a lot of different things.
Yes, you cannot eat and not have your parasympathetic nervous system turn on at the same time. There's no such thing as not emotional eating. It's fine. It's good. It's great. Food is great.
Listen, I'm going to the next person. You see this emotional eating and shit. This is the lack of discipline. If someone's a mental health professional or if they have red, blue, colored hair, they're cooked mentally every single time, bro. Let's go to the most replayed, whatever this is.
The hierarchy of
right,
what
we're
is
at
an...
Oh shit, she just to lose weight and then gaining and trying and gaining.
7% of people who are classified
Wait, hold on. Let me go
as
back a little bit.
over...
Options because when they go to a doctor, they're told to go lose
When
weight.
fat gets deposited in
But
the
you're not-
brain...
you're not answering what I'm
How does... I'm confused. Are you suggesting these are the reasons people become overweight?
No, I'm suggesting that a person could be in a larger body and be perfectly healthy on a body.
No, that's not possible. It's not possible. Temporarily, yes. You know what I mean? Like, for example, I remember I had a client and he was like, "Yeah, man, like I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine, man." I'm like, "Listen, your abdomen's pretty huge. You're going to have some insulin resistance, right? It might not show up right now, but it's going to show up because you just have a lot of excess fat, a lot of visceral fat." Guess what? A couple of months later, right? He had high A1C, and then he's like, "Okay, yeah, we got to lock in. I'm like, "Exactly, bro. That's like how it works." You feel me? So just because you don't see the health effects now or the bad effects now doesn't mean they're coming, because in reality, if you are eating unhealthy and you're currently healthy, eventually you're not going to be healthy. It's not that deep.
Based on
Do
their
you realize
lab,
that
their
only
cholesterol.
7% of people who are classified as overweight or obese, call it whatever you guys feel comfortable with, only 7% are classified as healthy.
Say that was true. Say we
I
knew for
can
certain.
go grab the data for you right now if you
Okay.
want.
Say we knew for certain that it was unhealthy. That what you're saying is true.
Notice how everyone that's arguing with her, by the way, is so mentally unstable and so all over the place. That's exactly why they have issues with food. Obviously, they have lack of discipline and just no logic, to be honest, right? They don't like the truth. They avoid the truth. Now, like it says here, 6.8% of adults with obesity were metabolically healthy, and that's only temporary, right? Other research shows higher estimates when different definitions are used, with prevalence of metabolically healthy obesity ranging from 10 to 30%. That's not even, no, it's probably not like that. You're going to be metabolically cooked if you're obese because you're going to have insulin resistance, obviously. Like, that's pretty obvious, all right?
Here's the classification.
But even then, we'd be in this place where, okay, so what do we do? Are we going to send someone down a path of trying to lose weight and then gaining and trying and gaining? And we know that weight cycling in and of itself, bad for the heart, bad for insulin, bad for the
What do we
brain,
do?
bad for all the things.
We work with that individual.
That's what I do in my private practice.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah. And I don't encourage weight loss because it's unethical.
Weight loss is unethical? Are you serious right now, bro? This is the shit I'm talking about. Listen, if someone has excess fat and they have insulin resistance and they have type 2 diabetes, you know how they get rid of it? You know how they get rid of type 2 diabetes? Literally fat loss. All right. So they're going to have to lose some weight. It is what it is. For example, I've had people 300 pounds and they had type 2 diabetes. I was like, okay, once we finish dropping the fat, right? Once you get down to like, below 20% body fat, you're definitely not going to have type 2. And then guess what? They get below 20%, they lose a lot of weight, a lot of fat, and they don't have type 2 anymore. It's that simple.
I disagree with you.
And
I
what's
think it's
ethical? You were
unethical.
asking before,
I think
what
it's
do
unethical
professionals do?
not to be transparent with people about the dangers.
Yeah, transparency is the dangers of weight cycling. You can go down that
That's
path.
a separate issue. You're presuming they're
How-
weight cycling. If you're doing your job, they shouldn't have to weight cycle, right?
No, it's not about me. It's about the body. The body is
Bro, everyone looks so cooked, bro. Like, every time they pan on someone, they just look...
so smart. But we're animals. Our bodies, when we lose weight, our body goes, oh shit, she just starved me. I'm gonna do everything I can to try to get back to that place.
I think it's
drive
more
up thoughts about
This is called the new generation or the new society. Everyone here is scared of discomfort, and that's why everyone here is like literally just massively... Like, anyone here, if you put them in Thailand, Vietnam, Japan, they would just be by far the biggest human that anyone has ever seen in those countries. All right. And it's because they like discipline. It's very simple.
food.
I think it's more
Slow down
complex.
metabolism to conserve the energy you are getting.
So are you suggesting that because it's hard and it's multifactorial, we should negate the dangers and not try to get
I'm suggesting
healthier?
that it's more dangerous to weight cycle than it is to stay in a fat body.
Still not the claim. And if you want to show me that, sure, show me the data. I'm not going to argue with that. It's not healthy to do that either. That's still not the claim.
Your claim
this
is
isn't a
fat in of itself.
hierarchy
Okay, all
of
right,
what is unhealthy.
we're out of time. We have to pause there. Yeah, thank you for that exchange.
Who put these here?
I'm going to skip. Let's see what's over here. Hopefully it doesn't get worse than this. Listen, all of this mumbo jumbo just to get around, beating around the bush. And that's exactly why I personally don't like corporate America and HR, because they always say stuff and I'm very straightforward. So I don't like when they're like, oh, well, you need to this, that. It's like, just be straightforward. Like, everyone here, instead of saying, hey, man, I don't want to be uncomfortable, in a calorie deficit because I like to overeat and I like to eat whatever I want to. I don't want to be disciplined. Instead of saying that, they're making all these fake ass claims that make no sense, right? It's a bunch of emotional shit.
You should fun.
So, what are you classifying as large food companies?
Okay. PepsiCo, Coca-Cola, General Mills.
Okay. Now, if they were beneficiaries and benefactoring and making all this money off of the body positivity movement, why is it that they spend billions on calorie counting apps, on a lot of things that we see in society as forcing the losing weight or talking about losing weight? Because
So someone in my comments said that stay away from ultra processed foods. So I know a lot of people don't know what ultra processed foods is, but it's just processed foods, because processed foods like 20 years ago was like processed, right? Now regular processed foods now are like ultra processed. Like there's so many different things, that chemicals and stuff that affect your brain chemistry and make you more addicted. Because think about this. I want you guys to think about this. If you were to get a bag of Skittles and you ate one and you were full and you were satisfied, Skittles would go out of business. If you ate one Starburst, you're satisfied, it would go out of business. Those foods are very, very addicting. They give you a dopamine hit and they're not very filling, right? So if these big companies that are selling the cookies, the Oreos and shit, if they're telling you like, yeah, man, body positive, it's okay to be out of shape and fat, then you're going to feel fine still eating those foods. All right. So that's exactly why they're pushing that. It makes sense because they're going to keep consuming that shit. Because if someone's fat as shit, they're not eating sweet potatoes and ground beef. They're just not. All right. Nobody here besides Jillian Michaels eats salmon, sweet potatoes, and ground beef. I know they're all eating cookies.
That to me doesn't make sense and doesn't correlate. But also, people that are benefiting from this are the people in the body positivity movement themselves. A little bit about myself.
Wait, can I clarify one
please,
thing?
please.
I'm talking predominantly about finance.
Okay.
Sorry.
Perfect.
Okay. So she says she's benefiting from body positivity, maybe feeling like she's part of a community. This is why I stopped training women, by the way, because a lot of them want to be part of a community. They don't actually want to get results. They just want to complain and stay together and be like, no, it's okay. Like, we're struggling together. I'm like, no, just stop fucking eating so much. But they're very emotional, right? They're all over the place. And a lot of times, like I said, they just want sympathy. But sympathy is not going to stop you from having a heart attack. Eating less calories will.
Thank you. Even that, I still will say, so I come from the wedding industry. So I created the first publication in the world for plus size brides. I've now...
What a joke, bro. I'm tired of these people thinking they accomplished some shit. That's like the worst thing ever. Anyways.
Gotten 13 wedding publications around the world. And my biggest thing is the wedding industry is very centric on this is what the wedding industry looks like. I have created a platform where and not just larger bodied body positivity, but body positivity for all sizes. And I'm gonna come specifically from the...
Okay, there is no body positivity for all sizes. It's just the big people. It's just the big motherfuckers, the megazords, not normal people. What is she talking about?
Wedding industry, which is very different, I know, but it still is very weight-centric.
Okay,
yes.
So your argument is the wedding industry is the primary beneficiary?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that's where my knowledge comes from, but the body positivity movement is really for us. We are the main, and I'm saying we because I'm a large body person.
I totally understand.
That's where it's really coming from.
Can I show you the ways they're exploiting it?
Oh, please.
Okay, so there have been two really big exposés. One by the
It's funny because before she even says anything, everybody she's talking to is so offended, bro. They're like so offended.
Washington Post and one by the Examiner. So they're coming at this from numerous angles. Mm-hmm. So the first one is they've gone after a lot of the intuitive eating dietitians.
Okay.
So can I give you some statistics?
Please.
Okay. So Washington Post analyzed more than 6,000 social media posts by 68 registered dietitians with a combined reach of over 9 million followers. 40% of them were using the anti-diet language, right? Like food freedom, no food rules, ditch the diet, healthy in any size, so on and so forth. Very often not disclosing the fact that they were paid by the big food companies.
Okay.
So they're basically going after the intuitive eating dietitians. I can give you Abby Sharp.
But that's okay though, but I want you to listen.
Okay,
because they are doing that.
Yes.
But the aspect that the body positive movement is really...
All right, so a joint investigation by the Examination and the Washington Post reviewed over 6,000 Instagram and TikTok posts from 68 registered dietitian influencers and found that many had financial ties to major food and beverage companies. Report found instances where sponsored content was not clearly disclosed and where anti-diet messaging appeared. Yeah, man, that's how it is, man. The big food companies want to make some money, so they hire influencers because influencers are really cheaper and they spread quicker, and it seems more natural because especially if you don't put this as an ad, then it seems more natural. Like, I hate diets are bad, and then everyone's like, yeah, diets are bad, and that's how a lot of people got brainwashed. Because, like I said, obesity was pretty bad in America before 2020, but it got way worse after. Like right now in 2026, it's so bad. Like I said, go to Sam's Club or go to Costco. It's absolutely insane these days.
For us, that is not even anywhere we need to equate into it.
I don't agree with you when they're using your movement.
But do you? And I'm going to say this clearly, and for right now, I don't care who uses my fucking movement. I want the movement to be there. And that right there, they can take it. It's marketing.
There she goes getting emotional. Like this is stupid as hell.
In sales 101, of course they're gonna use the fucking movement.
But then why can't you guys say you don't get to co-opt our movement?
That's not for me to do. I don't care about that.
There she goes. She's getting emotional.
The thing is we don't think you care. But it's not about we should. We are doing what we're doing because this is our family. This is our world.
There are
It
people
doesn't matter
that are
about what.
exploiting
Do you
your
think I
family.
can? But the thing is, we don't care.
You-
We are the movement.
But there are a lot of people that are being hurt by this. And these guys essentially are engineering food to be addictive. To quite
And you
Man, listen, this is a fucking joke, bro. It can't be. This is real people, by the way. This is real people in 2026, bro. We're cooked, bro. We are so cooked. This is a real human. Like, these are real human thoughts. This cannot be real human thoughts, bro. All right, what's next? Let's see. No, should I? Let me go to the last one. We're gonna wrap this up. Let's see what she says.
And body positivity.
All right. Shame is extremely important. Like I said earlier, it is a survival mechanism. If you are this, right? She weighs more than me, but she's probably like 350. That's 2 times my weight, right? Shame in that would make her start taking accountability and stop eating cookies, cake, because that's what she's eating. All right, now let's get into it.
I don't disagree with you. I disagree with how it handles shame.
Let's talk about the show.
Okay.
Tell me more about your, I guess, tactics or who Jillian Michaels is to the world.
I can't describe who Jillian Michaels is to the world. I'm something to everybody. To some people, I'm a hero that saved their life, which I never, listen.
35% of people.
Hold on. I disown that completely. It's not my accomplishment. It's a projection, right? Of I know you guys don't like this talk, but it is a projection of the good mommy. I'm not that. I'm also the bad mommy. I'm the evil person that made them overweight and I did this to them. I'm all these things to all these people. Who's Jillian Michaels? I mean, I'm 5'2". I spend a lot of money on laser hair removal. I got 2 kids. I mean.
How do you raise your kids? You use fear and shame to raise them?
Does it seem like I use fear and shame to raise them?
Yeah, because you talk about using fear and shame.
I don't talk about, first of all, that is a life.
See, out of shape people always associate discipline and structure with, like she said, fear, shame, hate, all this shit. Like, anytime there's discipline or anything like that, structure, they always say some bullshit like, oh my God, you use fear and shame.
Or death, intervention on a ticking clock.
But do you look at me and see a life or death need for an intervention right now? Be honest.
Yeah,
You might.
I do. We don't have a ticking clock, which means that if you chose to reach out to me,
We're
to
all on a
maybe
ticking
work on-
clock.
Not in the way that you go home in a week, dude. In the way that I get 6 days to try to figure out, to try to help you.
Okay, so
That's
no, you're back
very
to the
different.
show now, the ticking clock.
I thought we were
being
talking
is-
about, well, you're
Sure.
asking me about fear, and I'm telling you that parenting and Biggest Loser, there's no parallel.
Okay, so shame.
Okay?
Shaming someone. So like,
I didn't say it's okay to shame someone. I'm telling you that the utilization of these emotions, I'm telling you that shame is a signal. It's telling you, hey, look over here. This here, so
but shame from the world. Like any shame I've felt from, okay, we'll start here.
shame
Any
from the
sh-
world. You're externalizing shame.
Listen, like I said earlier, you need that shame, bro. Like I told you guys, when I got up to 230 and I'm looking down, I'm like, yo, I mean, she's probably like 350 or some shit. I don't think she got shame. But when you have that self-shame, that is a survival mechanism. And that's you saying, yo, I need to lock the fuck in because I'm unhealthy. And guess what? You are out of breath and your joints do hurt. Your lower back does hurt. Like you actually have problems. All right. It's not just like, if you could be healthy, fat, I wouldn't care whether, no one would care if you're fat or lean, but it's obviously harder to be lean and it's also way healthier to be lean.
Which is exactly what I don't agree with.
And you're saying that I've externalized it by
No.
carrying it on my body as well.
No, I'm saying when
That's a little bit of what you said earlier about the trauma is
hold on.
externalized.
Well, that would be utilizing your body as a container to manage emotions, if we're talking about in this particular instance.
That's another thing. All right. People be, like I said, people be emotional eating. Dudes and girls do it. You know what I mean? So that's why I always talk about the hate on body gaming, like when you're lean. That's another reason why people hate when you're lean, because you're doing something they can't and it pisses them off when they see it on a daily basis.
I can give you an example of that, but, or not. So I'm not talking about shaming someone. I fundamentally disagree with that concept. I'm talking about the shame that is already there, not externalizing it.
Shit is long as
plus
hell.
size fashion store. I look like the first fucking fat housewife of Beverly Hills. I'm fucking gorgeous. I got this.
She's trying to hype herself out like the comment section does because she doesn't believe any of the stuff. Because here's the thing. When you know you're the best version of yourself, you don't have to hype yourself up. All right. Like she's talking loud and acting big and all that stuff to hype herself up because she doesn't have actual confidence. Because real confidence is quiet. All right. I'm done with this video. This is too much goofy shit. I can't believe this shit is real. I'm done with this shit. All right. This is goofy.